Yo, what is up, Keydolf here, and this is a guide on how to beat Nergigante. Classified as an elder dragon, Nergigante possesses 6 limbs like others of his class, 4 legs and 2 wings. Its body is covered in thick black scales and has 2 massive horns on the front of his face. Able to regenerate at a rapid rate, Nergigante's spikes when hit off will initially regenerate as white before hardening into their black and final form. Now once the spikes have hardened, there will be more damage dealt towards the player. Now Nergigante is an overly aggressive monster and will chase down whoever dares to attack it. This is a mission for hunter rank 8 or above, so it is a tough encounter. Alright, so before we start the fight, let's take a look at its weaknesses first. Now as you guys can see, the best place to hit this beast is its horns, feet and its head. Its horns work as a weak spot no matter what type of weapon you're using, however its tail can only be severed by using a bladed weapon like the switch axe, greatsword or longsword. Now any bladed weapon will work out fine, but I recommend the charge blade here, since it won't take away your mobility and you can still deal some huge damage when in axe mode. Then as for the elemental advantages, the best elements to use against him from strongest to weakest are thunder, dragon, fire, water and ice. The most effective ailments you can use against him, again from strongest to weakest, are poison, blast, stun, sleep and paralysis. Now as said before, you can also sever the horns and the tail. The horns will grant you Nergigante Horn Plus and the tail will grant you Nergigante Tail. Now then for the equipment. As I said before, I recommend the charge blade for this fight along with the thunder element or the poison ailment. As for the armor, take one that has high defense. I did this fight with the full set of Zora Magdaros armor, which was a bit weak but it got the job done. So for this fight I would recommend some higher tier armor. That said, upgrading your armor, whether through armor spheres or simply crafting better gear, it just won't hurt. Also stack up on mega potions and possibly ancient potions to boost your health. Also carrying around the health booster isn't a bad idea as well. Now then for the strategy of this fight, Nergigante features spikes all over his body that will naturally regenerate as it fights. You can break these off with enough damage, but let them grow too long and they will blacken and turn rock hard. Whenever that happens, your weapon will just bounce off. Now again, the harder they are, the more damage his attacks will do to you. So he's fairly front heavy with most of his attacks coming from the top half of his body, so when talking positioning, keep between his legs and underneath him as much as you can. Keep an eye out for his wing shoulder charge, because it has a huge area of effect and therefore it is hard to avoid. Now his most devastating attack comes when most or all of his spikes are grown in. He will rise into the air and dive bomb an enemy. This will do 2 things. Firstly, if you are hit directly with it, you'll die. And secondly, when he hits the ground, his spikes will break off and be shot all over the area of attack. But there are not just downsides to this attack, because when he is done attacking, his body is the most vulnerable. So hit him as much as you can here. His tail can be severed, so while you're hitting his legs, try to go for the tail as well. Now eventually, he will retreat to a resting place, limping along the way. You're very close to finishing him off, but this area can be tough. It's simply a large open area with one ledge and stalactites that he can drop on your head. This goes against you in every way. Therefore you can only mount him in one spot and its openness allows him to easy traversal quickly to get to you at any point. Dodging and rolling are your friends in this fight. It doesn't matter if you use the whole 50 minutes you have, so keep hitting him when you can and avoid the dive bomb attack at all costs and eventually you will beat him. Then yet again for the knockdowns, try to go for his weak spot during the fight and try to knock him down. One thing I found very useful is to try and mount him, as it will give you a knockout for free. You can do that by simply jumping down from a ledge and use your main attack to trigger the mount phase. Should you be able to get him on the ground, focus his tail and try to sever it. This will give you a little more breathing room and one less attack to focus on. On top of that, you get an extra carve once you lop it off. Now after you do that, focusing his horns should knock him down again. Whenever that happens and his tail is already severed, focus his head for yet another chance to knock him down. Then for the environmental advantages, one more thing we can do to make this fight a bit easier is use the environment against him. So there are places where you can knock down some of the giant crystals along the wall and in the middle of the room. Be careful that they don't fall on top of you because it will knock you out, but once they hit him, it will knock him out as well. So you can use that to your advantage. You can also use the little crystal pillars to climb up and jump on top of him for an easy mount phase. Self-made traps won't work, so using the crystals is all you've got. Then for the final part, and this is the turf war. As you guys know from the tutorial, bringing different monsters together will make them fight each other, but since our little friend here is yet again on top of the food chain, he will attack anything and not take too much damage himself. But since he will be fighting other monsters, he is not really focused on you, so this is a great opportunity for you to land some great hits. Be careful though, since he can still hit you while fighting against something else. Now once Nergigante has eventually been felled after a long drawn out battle, you'll have the opportunity to scavenge its corpse for some rare items like the Nergigante Talon or the Nergigante Carapace. But your chances of obtaining an Elder Dragon blood are rather rare. Oh guys, don't be stupid as me and start celebrating since you finally defeated him and then forget to carve him. That happened to me in the first fight. Yep. Now I'll thank you all for watching this video. If this video was helpful for you, consider to drop a like and comment down below on what guide you would want to see next. Also feel free to subscribe to my channel for some more Monster Hunter guides in the future or other content related to games. Now there's one more quick thing I would like to talk about, and that is the rapid increase in subscribers on my channel. Now since my Engineer guide, you guys have been absolutely amazing, supporting me with comments and just subscribing to my channel overall. It just feels amazing and there are really no words for it. Now if we can reach 500 subscribers by the end of next Friday, I will do a 12-hour stream from Saturday to Sunday. So if you guys are interested in that, just subscribe to my channel and it will work out just fine. As always guys, I love you all, wish you a very good day, and peace out boys.